The poem The Snake, written by D.H. Lawrence, has got a narrative element. It is like a story or narration of incidents as they happened. But on a deeper level, when we try to analyze it, we would find that the poet has actually told us about conflicted, deepening consciousness within him. He is actually, after this incident, he is able to find inside him what the consciousness of the world has done to him, what the education or the knowledge that we have beforehand, whatever has been told to us by the society, by the people around, what do they do to our consciousness? We don't act as our basic nature allows us to do. Rather, we act according to the society or societal norms, because the society has told us to do this, because our previous consciousness developed on the basis of what people say tells us to do. But he realizes this soon enough, and after the casual description of whatever happened, he actually falls into a confession mode, and he is able to realize, that is called epiphanic realization. Suddenly he realizes that he has done something wrong, because of the influence of the society, because of the influence of whatever he has learned from people, or whatever people talk about in general. He has learned something negative from that. This poem is about the poet himself, living in Sicily in 1920 when he was living in Sicily, Italy. And there, this incident happened with him in reality. And like the actual experience that he has derived a realization from that, and we are told about it. And as I've already mentioned, that it throws light into human consciousness, the peculiar pattern that our influences they draw in our mind, and which direct our behavior and activity in such a manner that we at times do things that uh, that are already there in our mind, rather than doing what is natural, what is instinctive, what is normal. So this poem begins with a scene, and a lot of good imagery is there, because it enables the reader to visualize the scene in front of their eyes. It says that a snake came to my water trough, and on a hot day, hot is repeated, repetition poetic device is there, because he wants to emphasize on this fact that it was really hot that day, and anybody normal would like to drink water on such a hot day, and it was normal. And I, in my pajamas for heat, it was so hot on that summer day in Italy, that he himself was not in a proper dress. He was casually dressed. He did not, when it is very hot around, then we don't like to wear good clothes, because we are all sweaty, and because we want to wear such clothes that would enable air to pass inside. So he was also in his pajamas. That means it was extremely hot, and he could not even dress well. And a snake came there to drink water. Water trough is a man-made tank type of thing, where at one end water drips from a tap, or a tube well, and it gathers in a container kind of thing. It could be cemented, it could be wooden, it could be metallic. These days the water trough is metallic also. So there was one such kind of a construction in his farm, under a shady tree. And there he had gone to drink water. He went there so that he could drink clean water dripping from the tap. But when he went there, he saw that a snake had arrived there first. It was already there, and it was also trying to quench its thirst because it was a hot day. Like human beings feel thirsty, even the creatures of the nature, other creatures like animals and all, they also feel thirsty. Even plants feel thirsty. So the snake was already there, and it was drinking. So he had to wait like a good, mannered, or a human being with good etiquettes. If somebody is already there, to have some services before oneself, then we have to wait. And we wait in a queue often at the banks, and this is civilized behavior. So, like a civilized human being, it waited because the snake was already there. So, the poem says, a snake came to my water trough on a hot, hot day, and I, in pajamas for the heat because it was very hot, to drink there. He was also there. In the deep, strange, scented shade of the dark carob tree, he has named the tree, that it was quite dense and it was dark there, it was shady there, it was quite comforting there. I came down the steps with my pitcher. Pitcher is a small container or a pot. He came there so that he could fill water in his pitcher and drink, and must wait. And like a civilized human being, he had to wait, must stand and wait, for there he was at the trough before me. He has used the pronoun he for the snake and not it, because he wants to honor the snake as himself. Like we are the children of nature, even the snake is a child of nature, and the way we treat ourselves in nature, the animals must be treated likewise, because they also have life, and they have everything that, like, nature has given us certain privileges, but in the eyes of nature we are also equal, because equal to animals, that is because nature, the mother, uh, is not one who would discriminate between her children. So the snake is also honorable as we are. That is why he is using the pronoun he for the snake and not it. In the dark, uh, funny smelling shade of the huge tree means the tree was dense and there was certain smell there. Huh? He reached down from the fissure in the earth. Fissure is a crack. He means this snake. He had come out of the earth, because snakes are believed to live in burrows and holes, uh, you know, uh, underneath. That is why he might have, or the snake might have arrived there through a fissure or crack in the earth wall. Earth is compared to a wall, metaphor is there. In the gloom, gloom means darkness, so he might be living in darkness under the earth, but from there he came to light, he came to our world where we live, so that he could quench his thirst, and trailed his yellow body. Trail means he snake was walking ahead and his body trailed behind him. It was coming, dragging behind him. So he trailed his yellow brown slackness, soft bellied down. That means its belly was soft, and it was, description is there, imagery is there. He's telling how the snake crawled there. Slackness tells us that it was, like, the movements were not very cautious, and they were not hurried, that they were very casual. So he might have also casually come there to drink water, as the poet had arrived there. So this way the snake was there, not perturbed, not agitated, not aggressive. It was quite casual, and he had simply come there to quench his thirst. Over the edge of the stone trough, and rested his throat upon the stone bottom, and where the water had dripped from the tap in small clearness. No, he tried to drink water. That is, snake also tried to drink water at that place where the water was clear, and it was dripping clear from the tap. And we are also told that his trough was not wooden or cemented, it was stone trough. and the snake simply came there casually and in a relaxed position. It had placed itself, and he was not paying attention to whatever was happening around him. He was simply drinking water like a normal creature of nature. We are also, in a very descriptive manner, we are told how he drank this water. He sipped with his straight mouth, softly drank through his straight gums, into his slack body, careless, not aggressive, not agitated, not hurried, slack long body. Silently, it did it, as if very natural. It was also quite relaxed. The snake was not in a angry mood or anything. When we watch such animals like kangaroo or giraffe, the way it bends its feet to drink water, or a bird, how it takes water in the beak, or when we observe the cow, how it licks water and takes it inside, and or a dog or a pup, any animal, we are fascinated by it because its way of drinking is different from ours, and we see how the water is gulped and it goes down the body of the animal, how it appears at its neck and all that. So when the snake was drinking this water, this poet also appears to be fascinated by the elegance of nature, how its body was made by nature, and how the water was being sipped by the snake, and it was taken inside his long body silently, how it was happening. All this fascinated the poet, because probably the poet persona here is also a nature lover. So he admired the way snake was drinking water.